Welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades and training bartenders. I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. All right, everybody, welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. What a day. What a day we are having. My goodness. Welcome. I guess that's the issue with having live shows. Sometimes the rest of the world is also kind of live. So, lanterns. Thank you. Let me knock these lanterns out here real quick. Oh, it's not just going to work. That's fine. Okay. We can go without one lantern. Welcome. Who needs a drink? I think it's probably time that we have some drinks today. Let me just say, rest in peace to our good friend of the show, Dr. Ruth. Loved Dr. Ruth. And Richard Simmons passed away today, as well as Shelley Duvall passed away a couple days ago, who, my goodness, I loved The Shining. I hated The Shining. Too scary. Far too scary. But I've been to the hotel a few times, and holds a deep place in my heart. And also, can we stop? Don't shoot anybody. If we could all just stop shooting people. Anyway, that is what we are dealing with today. However, we are deep in the middle of the summer of punch, and somewhere in the world, mostly the bottom half, mostly when you just go low. There's a great episode of The West Wing. Anybody watch The West Wing, where there's a group of people that tried to get the Southern Hemisphere to be switched to the Northern Hemisphere? Like, let's just say, can we stop saying that the North is the top and the South is the bottom? There's a political group for everything. Anyway, down south right now, those people are enjoying a very, very chilly time. This is the chilly time in Australia. This is where it's cold. They have very warm Christmases. So we are going to introduce a few, because we won't have the summer of punch when the winter comes around. We're going to introduce a few winter punches today, including some of my very favorites. One of my very favorite tiki cocktails of all time, known as, let me just turn my head down. There we go. Known as the Nui Nui. We're good. How's the volume? I think suddenly a number of things changed over here. I got an update moments before, and now everything seems very loud in my head. If you guys think that this seems too loud, you let me know. Okay. Before we get too deep into it, let me tell you about some people that are definitely here still with us. And those are the people that watch this show. Let me say hello real quick to our good friend, Moose. Good day, Moose, to not be from America. So congratulations on not being from America today. You are winning currently. Let me say hello real quick to Stephanie and Michael Husband. Now, Michael Husband, I was just talking about Michael Husband 1 day ago. I was watching one of my internet shows that I enjoy watching. I really enjoy watching. There's an Argentinian fella I dig. He's got opinions on things. I like an opinion or two. And I was listening to it, and what did I hear? I heard this Argentinian fella say, "Oh, and I want to thank Michael Husband for becoming a member." And I thought, well, there can't be two Michael Husbands. I guess there could be two Michael Husbands, but I think that Michael Husband and I were watching the exact same show at the exact same time. And maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe Michael Husband doesn't even exist, and all of this is all fake. Maybe this is all Kyle's doing. He's just out there typing up a storm, and none of you people are real. I do think Michael Husband and I were watching the same Argentinian fella talk about his opinions. But if not, there's Michael. There is another. Let me just say, there's another Scott Cushman out there in the world. He is a boxing instructor, and I could not be any more different, I don't think. DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Kush-Tucky Derby. Oh, let me give this. Michael and Stephanie Husband, winners of the 2024 Kush-Tucky Derby, and possible members at another channel. DC David Clark, winner of the 2023 Kentucky Derby. Good to see you, DC. Always a pleasure, never a chore. Let me say hello to Shawnee Pennebaker. Good evening. I believe that Shawnee Pennebaker has requested that we do one of the drinks we're doing today. Sean, have you told me that we need to do the cable car? We're doing the cable car today. I think the cable car is a great cocktail, and we're doing it today. So get ready. Let me say hello. Are we even live? It doesn't even tell me how many people are in here. That's really annoying. Everything is new. Kyle, are we live? Kyle, will you just come in and give me a thumbs up if we're live? I can't tell. Let me say hello. Oh, yes, no behind-the-scenes action tonight, Moose. I don't know if you're watching the news. I was listening to the news right before we got here. I didn't want you to hear me just swearing up a storm. It's not good. Not good news. Let me say hello to Tiki Tom. Hello, Tiki Tom. Like Kyle says, lanterns. Why is it Christmas in July and not Christmas in June? June will be halfway there. Well, June, we already have a lot of things we're doing. June, I'm already doing a lot of things. My birthday's in June. Father's Day's in June. What else is in July but the 4th of July? Other than that, you just sit by the fan and melt. So I think Christmas in July, maybe that's it. Beyond that, I don't have a real answer for you. Christmas in July, Christmas in July, Christmas in June. Christmas in July, Christmas in June. I don't have an opinion on it. Scotty DuBois, let me say hello to Scotty DuBois. And April says hi. Hello, April. Here is Paulie B in the place to be. Paul Bellinardo, ready to go. Paul says, ciao to all. That's the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona. Stephanie says, volume is good. Good here. Sounds good on my end. That's good. All right. Well, we're en route to see the Rolling Stones at SoFi, says Cocktail Lulu. What life do you live? What life do you live? What? Says Stephanie Husband. Sounds like a pretty good coincidence. Maybe it is a good coincidence. Oh, I guess there is a second Michael husband out there that is donating to Argentinian gentlemen. Well, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Who knows? Shawnee Pennebaker says he loves the cable car. Did not request it though. That's good. All right. Well, then I'm not stealing from anybody. All right. Real quick, Cocktail Lulu and Dougie G, what songs are you hoping they play? Can I tell you my favorite songs by the Rolling Stones real quick? I think it goes Sweet Virginia. That's number one. Gotta be. I like when he talks about the shit on the shoes. That's my favorite part about, I think, all the Rolling Stones. I think Tumble and Dice. I think everything off of Exile on Main Street. I think that's my favorite album. Any song on there, pick it. I think it's my favorite song. Anybody else have any favorite songs from the Rolling Stones? I'd like to hear about them. Okay. Sympathy for the Devil's a good one. I think Sympathy for the Devil's a pretty good Rolling Stones song. Okay. I had more things kind of planned for this. I was going to wear a hat and maybe put up some decorations, but then, politics got in the way, and I decided to maybe tone it down a little bit. But I did wear my Santa shirt. I do, and I did dye my beard just a little bit white. So I think we're in good standing. What's going on? Oh, DC David Clark likes Ruby Tuesday. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Okay. Punches. Oh my gosh, we are in the summer of punch. I just woke up to that fact. We are in the summer of punch, and it's very difficult to do the summer of punch and not have some sort of winter punches put in here. Now, what makes it a winter punch? Don't know. Don't know. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Cocktail Lulu will request those songs. Yeah, just tell Mick anything from Exile on Main Street. Let's start this over. We're in the middle of summer punches. Oh my gosh. You can't do a summer punch without doing some sort of winter punch. What makes a winter punch? I don't know. I don't have any clue. But when you try these, I think that you will like them. These are all punches that I believe would go very well in the middle of winter. Now, I thought for a while, I tried to throw an eggnog in here today, but even though I could very well justify an eggnog being a punch, it was tough. And I didn't want to, I'm speaking like I'm a president now. It was very tough to get that going. So I didn't. So we decided we're doing all just like real normal, basic, delicious, good punches. Let's start off. Do we have any order that we want to put these in? I got real distracted right before the show started, and then it all became a blur. Let's start with the poinsettia. The poinsettia, kind of one of those great cocktails that just showed up. I'm sure I say that, and then some, older 1990s, 1980s bartender's going to come running in here saying, Kush, hey, Kush, psst, psst, psst. That was me. I created that. And then somebody else, it's usually somebody in New York, somebody in Miami, and somebody in Los Angeles, and sometimes somebody in Chicago. Some bartender there all created the same drink at the exact same time. Darn it. Kyle, I need you to look me in the eyes. Kyle, I've forgotten something incredibly important. Kyle, I need you to go where all of the rest of the stuff is. Do you know what I'm talking about? There is a bottle of cranberry juice, a tiny bottle of cranberry juice on the shelf. Kyle, I need you to get that bottle of cranberry juice for me. Otherwise, we can't make this drink. Anyway, there's no way Kyle knows what I'm talking about at this point. I don't know who created this cocktail. I just don't know who created it. I looked it up, tried to find it, but I have made similar cocktails to this numerous times. I have a great one called the 75 Presents. I think it's great, by the way. Nobody else has to think it's great, but I think it's pretty great. What this one is it kind of proves an interesting point about how a punch is balanced. A little sour, a little sweet, a little strong, a little weak, a little spice, make it all nice. Now, this cocktail normally does not contain any of the strong stuff. Normally, we don't contain the strong stuff. And if it does contain the strong stuff, they put it in vodka. I'll wait for Paul. Paul, what do we say about vodka? Waiting for you. While Paul is spelling out psychopath. Normally, we don't put any of that in. It's normally just a very, very cranberry forward cocktail. Usually a very cranberry, some champagne, et cetera. But we have adjusted a little bit. I think we get to do that. I think if at all possible, we do get to do that. And that's what we're doing today. So we're going to be making a poinsettia cocktail, but we are going to be substituting, as Scott Du Bois says, vodka is just unflavored gin. Yeah, we're just going to be putting in some flavored vodka into this. It's going to be, thank you. Oh, Paul threw me right under the bus. Vodka is for sociopaths, according to Dr. Kush. Well, I was trying to get you to say it, but I guess now we both said it. Now we're both in cahoots. Oh, goodness. All right. Kyle is out of breath, and he's got it. Thank you, Kyle. It's warm. Did you put it in your suit? My goodness. Yes. And he nodded. He didn't say anything. He nodded. Okay. Very simple cocktail. We're going to be building this one. What do we call this? We're going to be building this one in glass. We're building this one in glass. All right. Don't worry too much about shaking this one. What we want to do is give this one a stir by the time it's over, and we're good. I do want to thank Bonnie for this glass. This was a gift from, not Bonbon. I have two Bonnies in my life, it turns out. Before this year, or before like last year, I had 0. Now I got 2. I don't know what to do with 2 Bonnies. Too many Bonnies. I keep saying everybody. I'll go ahead and grab some of this. This is gin. What kind of gin do you want to use? Hey, that is up to you. If you want to get real weird with it, maybe use some Genever. Hey, okay. I'm in for it. Let's go. Let's rock and roll, everybody. If you want to use an Old Tom gin, hey, all right. Woo-hoo-hoo. You're good to go. I like to use Martin Miller's. Now, I'm in a weird brawl right now with another gin company. But at the Tiki Oasis, which is the whole reason we're doing this, we will be using a gin. Which gin? It's up in the air right now. But go ahead and grab yourself a gin. Throw in, let's say it here. Throw in 2 ounces of some gin. All right. I feel where are you? I feel like I feel like you guys watched me have a few existential crises on the show. I've had existential crises about this product right here a few times. Now, this right here is called Ocean Spray. It is cranberry. This is 100% juice. So nowhere on here does this say cranberry cocktail. It does not say cranberry cocktail anywhere. But that does not mean that it is not a cranberry cocktail. Now, I don't get why some cranberry juice is cranberry cocktail. I don't get it. I don't understand it, and I don't like it. I don't think that it represents the cocktail, what the cocktail is, very well. However, I do think it represents what the punch is pretty well. It is 1 of sour. It's pretty sour, but it is 2 of sweet. It is double as sweet as it is sour. If you've ever had like a kidney stone or some sort of issue with your kidneys at all, the first thing they tell you, hey, first of all, the doctor will look you right in the eye and say, I hate you. I hate you, and I'm going to make you do something that you're going to hate too. I'm going to make you drink pure cranberry juice. All right. I want you to take these little devil berries. I want you to just squeeze them, suck out their sour ass essence. And then I want you to throw that down your gullet because that's going to go straight to your kidneys and help right in. Oh, where are your kidneys? Back here. It's going to help all right in here. The cocktail adds a ton of sugar, making the cranberry juice even drinkable. Not even drinkable in its normal form. Not even a little bit. But that does make a good, it's good news, great news, I think, for punches. Because we got a little sour and a little sweet. We have 1 of sour, 2 of sweet. Go ahead and throw in, check my notes, 3 ounces. Why aren't my notes working? Give me my notes app for a second. Everybody's having a rough day. 4 ounces. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it really 4 ounces? Go ahead and throw in 4 ounces of cranberry juice. Adjust as you see fit. Excellent. Excellent. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong. 4 of weak. We need to add a little bit of spice now to make this whole thing nice. For spice, we're using Grand Gala. Grand Gala is technically, do they even say it on here? They're going to say it's a triple orange liqueur made with Italian VSOP. I would say definitely maybe Grand Gala counts as a curacao. Now, I noticed that my good friends just showed up in the chat. Mix. 1 year for Mix, for their Christmas present, for everybody at Mix, I made homemade curacao for everybody. I have a feeling nobody drank it. I have a feeling most people just threw it right out. I don't know what happened there. Tammy asked me what it was for the next 4 years until eventually I think it got thrown out. I have a feeling one of the bottles is still in the refrigerator at Mix. Listen, you don't give gifts because you expect people to like them. You just give gifts because it makes you feel good. The one thing that I learned from making that curacao is that it is spiced. You're putting cinnamon in there. You're putting cloves in there. You're putting all kinds of fun stuff in that curacao. So technically, if we're making a curacao, we are making a spiced orange liqueur. We need half an ounce of some orange curacao. Looking great so far. Dang. There's a garnish that's supposed to go on this, and now I completely forgot that too. Boy, yes. Mike's Cocktail Hour says yes. There is still one here. Yeah. I don't know whose that is, but they did not drink it. Paul Bellinar says that's a lot of cranberry juice. Well, yes, Paul, that is technically, you know, yes, technically that's a lot of cranberry juice. But we're not done. Right here, this, the world's okayest champagne. This is Cook's. You want to find a sparkly. You want to find something that is white and sparkly. I think Cook's is great for cocktails. I've recently learned that some people here, some people in chat cannot find their Cook's. I don't understand why it's the world's okay champagne. It should be able to ship anywhere. But just find a nice, easy, blank, not expensive champagne. We need 2 ounces of that stuff. Oh God. Don't know what I was thinking. Pouring the champagne into the jigger was not the way to do this. All right. A little bit of ice, obviously. Throw this in here. Oh boy. Look at this. Look at this. Now, my thought on this is definitely give this a stir. We're trying to get those bubbles to not just be right on top, to not leave us immediately. If you let this drink sit for any length of time, it will become less bubbly, less effervescent, and you will, it's no big deal. You'll just be drinking a less bitter, because we've learned carbonic acid has bitterness to it, a less bitter version of this drink, but you already have some of the bitter by the bitter little angry circles, the little orbs of anger that you have called cranberries in the cranberry juice, which are leveled out by the double amount of sugar that goes into it. This right here, the poinsettia. If you have rosemary, rosemary is a good little thing. The annoying thing is I have rosemary. I just forgot about it. And then Kyle has already done a favor for me. So we're going to drink it without the rosemary. But I think if you guys have some rosemary, a little rosemary scent, maybe one of these. Get the little rosemary in your nose. Cheers. Spectacular. Really, really good. I'm not really tied to a gin right now. I don't really have like I don't have a gin sponsorship right now. One of my gin sponsors just sort of ghosted me, which was really annoying. So I do, I do think it's important right now that I say how wonderful I think Martin Miller's is. I think Martin Miller's possibly one of the world's great gins. I like it so much. It's the only gin that we carry at Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I like it so much. There. They didn't pay me to say that. I just really like it. If you find some Martin Miller's gin, I think it's important that you find some. That's delicious. Okay. All higgledy-piggledy here. Let's, Kyle, do you want this drink? I think you do. So, that being said, the way that we have built this cocktail, I could argue that possibly a cosmopolitan should be called a cosmopolitan punch, right? Cranberry, that's a little sour, a little sweet, a little lime, vodka. Okay. Nothing wrong with vodka, but come on. And then curacao, orange curacao. Let's make that gin sponsor an offer they can't refuse. Yeah, we should do that. We they have to call us back, unfortunately. There's a lot going on here. Oh, goodness, here we go. Here comes Kyle. He has brought in the, we'll just do this real quick. Thank you, Kyle, for bringing in the rosemary. This is rosemary. We're going to give it a little smacking, a little slapping. There we go. Kyle, do you want to do a little slapping? That was incredibly silly. All right. Well, we're going to throw this right in there, and I'm going to give Kyle this so he doesn't smack anything. Good luck out there, pal. Really good slapping. Until next time. Yay, Kyle, says Stephanie Husband. Bah, says Scotty DeBoy. Pretty weird. Yeah, Martin Miller, Gin, another spirit we cannot get here in Indiana. That is too bad. My goodness. Tom, Tiki Tom, if you want to move out to California, listen, you'll have some friends out here. I'd love to see you. Kyle, the comic relief. Mixed cocktail hour, join a little late. Let's all raise a glass to celebrate the great life of Richard Simmons. We have done that as well as to Dr. Ruth and Shelley Duvall, all who passed away this week. But yes, raise another glass to the great Richard Simmons. Okay, what else are we doing here tonight? Oh yeah, let's make more drinks. Okay. I looked for a while. I was going to do something like a milk punch, right? Milk punch. We've done milk punches. We've done them. I feel like we've got those covered. We might do another milk punch coming up here, but I didn't want to clarify anything today. I felt like maybe that would take too long, or we would get bored with it. I don't know. Listen, whatever. All I can think about is Kyle slapping that rosemary now. It's going to be an image in my head for the rest of my life. So what I looked for was a way to make the daiquiri, probably my favorite cocktail in the whole world, into a Christmas situation. So I searched and I searched and I searched, and I eventually came across this cocktail. It's a very fun cocktail. It's called the Cable Car. It comes out of San Francisco, obviously. Those guys are they hold it over our heads here in Los Angeles all the time. Oh, you guys have a metro system. Oh, you guys have public transportation. Oh, you guys have Alcatraz. Oh, we don't really have a metro system here. They have the BART up there. And those BARTs take place in cable cars. It sounded pretty good. The reason it's called the Cable Car is it's based off of another great cocktail called the Sidecar. See how they did that? Got real clever with it. Ooh, it's a little turn of phrase, a little turn of tongue that we got there. So we are going to be making a cocktail now called the Cable Car. Now, I don't have the right rum for this, surprising enough. But I imagine a few of you do. I imagine a few of you at your place have the correct rum. The correct rum that you're looking for is something like a Chairman's Reserve spiced rum. We're looking for any kind of spiced rum. Most of the spice in this cocktail is going to come from the spiciness of the rum. Spiced rum is kind of a cheat code when it comes to punch, because in the strong comes the spice. We don't have that. So instead, we're just gonna open up our rum cabinet here. We're just gonna see what we got back here. I think that something back here has to have a little spice to it. As I say that, maybe it doesn't. Oh, you know what we'll put in? We were just talking about this the other day. Get out here. Get out here. One second. Too many bottles. Get back there now. All the way to the back. Everybody just hang out. There we go. Why not? We'll use lost his head. We'll use Old Monk. This is Old Monk. It's an Indian rum. Shipwreck Spice is a nice one for this one, says Shawnee Panda Baker. Yeah. Find yourself a spiced rum that you like. There's an okay spiced rum. It's not great for a lot of things, but it's good for a couple things. That comes out of Costco. For those of you who Costco lets them buy booze. There's a great one. I forget what it's called, but it's nice. It's interesting. Very vanilla-y. That's fine for this cocktail. We're going to be using, dang it. We're going to be using this guy. This is Old Monk. The Old Monk, he loses his head right here. Just find is this even going to say? No, it's just an aged rum. Very spicy tasting, though. Very, very spicy tasting. Very, very vanilla-y. Very, very clovey. That's what we want. We're going to go ahead and throw in 1.5 ounces of some spiced rum here. So find yourself a good, easy spiced rum that you like. 1.5 ounces of spiced rum. This spice rum brought to you by Paul Bellinardo. Thank you, Paul Bellinardo, for the spice rum, the old monk. We sat and drank it one day a while ago, and then it got moved to the back of the rum barrel or the rum cabinet. I haven't seen it for a while. Lemon juice. Normally we see this stuff. Normally we see the rum stuff come in lime juice, obviously. But we're not making a riff on the daiquiri today. We are instead going to be making a riff on the sidecar. The sidecar is brandy, cognac, and lemon juice. We're switching out the brandy for the rum, and we're switching out the cognac. What? Sorry. We're switching out the brandy for the rum, and we're keeping everything else the same. I don't know why that was difficult. Go ahead and squeeze in, find a lemon. There we go. Squeeze in 1 ounce of lemon juice. Now, I have really, really high hopes for this lemon. This lemon did not come in a pack. It has no brothers. It has no brothers at all. It's by itself. We're going to go ahead and squeeze out 1 ounce of some lemon juice. Can we get it in 1/2? So, that's a lemon. That's how you do lemons. I don't know who from Big Lemon is watching this show, but we need to infuse more juice into lemons. That was half of a lemon, and that's 1 full ounce of lemon juice from 1/2. Think of how much money we will save if each half of a lemon gave us 1 ounce of juice. The markets would crash. Basic freedoms would be brought back to this world, and ice cream every Sunday. Go ahead and throw in 1 ounce of lemon juice. We also want to throw in some of our curacao. Curacao, apparently here it is. Curacao is a big, big thing come Christmas time because of those spices. Dem spices get right in the way of Christmas time. And so we're going to go ahead and grab another glug of this Grand Gala. We need 3/4 of an ounce. Can I check my notes? Did not have time to go over all my notes right before this, so we're all over the place. 3/4 of it. Goodness, 3/4. Just burping. 3/4 of an ounce of some orange curacao. Hey, sometimes you're in it, sometimes you're not. Live show. That's what it is. There we go. Put this back where it go. A little bit of simple syrup. Simple syrup. The simplest of all the syrups. It is just equal parts sugar and water. I imagine when I watch or when I listen to radio shows and they say something that I recognize, I repeat it rather than them. I assume that when I say simple syrup, a lot of you will say the simplest of all syrups. I assume that that's one of my little catchphrases. If I have other catchphrases, please let me know. Let me say hello to Jeremy Foote. It's late here on the East Coast when I'm home. LOL. Well, Jeremy, we're glad to have you. We will have this done by 10. We hope. 1/2 ounce of some simple syrup. Now, what's kind of cool about that drink, the way that this is built, is that is what we call a step down. If we were in a fast-paced bar, that would be an incredibly easy drink to make because of how we step down the jiggers. So if you hold a jigger like this, right, and then you hold a little one. Let me find a little one. I have to have a little one right here. We'll use this one as a little one. Not exactly the type of little one I was looking for, but if you hold them like this is how you would hold jiggers. This is how professional bartenders hold jiggers. You rest one side here. You put you got the other one right here, and then you're able to flip. I can't do it with my left hand, so we're gonna have to show you like this. We're gonna flip like this. Flip, flip, flip. Right there. See, right there. And then if you need 1/2 ounce, you go here. If you need 3/4 of an ounce, you go here. So let's just say this is a 3/4, this is 1.5 ounces right up here. What you would do is you would go 1.5 and then hit another bottle, 3/4, and you dump. And then you'd flip this and you put this here. And then you'd go half and you'd go 1. You pour that right in there. Step down, or a waterfall, sometimes they're called. Don't know why I got distracted with that. Anyway, yes. Okay. We have finished this cocktail, but I think kind of one of the fun things about this cocktail, sorry, this punch, is it's, did Kyle just yell hot tip at me? Hot tip? Hot tip. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate your hot tipping me. This cocktail gave me the excuse to make something that I have not made in many moons. This is cinnamon sugar. It's cinnamon sugar. It's sugar cinnamon. You know, like when you were a kid, you put butter on toast and then you put cinnamon sugar on toast, and that was the best toast there is. That's what this is. It's equal parts sugar and ground cinnamon. Awesome. Awesome. But even more awesome is that it is the garnish for this cocktail. We're going to take one of these. Oh, let me introduce you to tiny oranges. Hello, tiny oranges. These are our tiny oranges. We, at this point, are going to be doing a little bit of tiny oranging. We want to just slice one of these little oranges. Look at that little guy. My goodness. Maybe it'll give us a lot of juice. We want to take the orange that we got right here. We're going to wet the side of this by rubbing that, and then we are going to just slowly dip our glass, our now wet with orange glass, until all of the little bits are filled in. We don't want it looking uneven. Right there. And there we have it. That right there. I like, this is just me. This is just me. I do all of my dusting like that on only one side. But because I only do it on one side, I do a much thicker version of it. Some people will just take it and turn it right upside down. And then they have it all, a thin line all around here, but also inside of the drink. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that. That's not what I'm interested in. I would much rather have a lot here on one side. That way, if you want to have some of this cinnamon sugar, you're welcome to it. If you do not, then you're good to go. Easy peasy. Lots and lots of ice. Shake away. Smells delicious. This drink will change a ton depending on which spiced rum you use. Depending on which spiced rum you use, this will change a ton because most of the spicing from this is coming from the spiced rum. Go ahead and throw this right into here. And there we have it. This right here, the cable car, technically comes with an orange peel as a garnish. We're going to try and get away with one by throwing a lemon on there. We're just going to float that in. Grab this by the pinchers. There we go. This is called the cable car. Fabulous cocktail. Coming out of San Francisco, named after their very, very famous BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit, what BART stands for. based on another great cocktail called not the daiquiri, because there's lemon and orange in here, but based on one called the sidecar, which is how we got the cable car. I filled it a little too high, and then that orange lemon didn't help. But let's see if we can get it to our face. I love public transport. It's like my favorite thing. Um, I don't really live near public transport anymore, which kind of bums me out. But when I did live near public transport, took it every day. Love public transport. This does give me the feeling of being back in one of those metro cars, heading downtown, a little party going, the whole thing. Anyway, lovely cocktail. Find a rum that you like. Shipwreck was recommended to us by our guy Shawnee P. I think that Chairman's Reserve, another really good one. Koloa has a wonderful spice rum. It's a Hawaiian spice rum. Find a spice rum. If you really got to get into it, I guess nothing wrong with some Sailor Jerry's or some Bacardi Spice, whatever you want to get to. Just find some spice. Get it in there. Let's say real quick, this is always fun. Congratulations to Littlefoot at a rugby championship. His daughter is playing, so I guess I don't know her name. I assume if she's Foot, maybe she's not, but I assume if she is, somebody at some point has called her Littlefoot, and if not, we are calling her Littlefoot now. Congratulations to them. We do not know what team she is playing for, but we are cheering for that team. When you made your train cocktail, was it on public transit? When I made the train cocktail, first of all, hello Bon. We've already mentioned Bon a couple times today. When I made my train Manhattan, no, I was on an Amtrak, which I guess is technically public transportation, but the same way a plane is public transportation. It's very expensive, and uh, it's not $1.25. Okay. Let's Kyle, do you want this one? I think you'll like this one. Come get it. If you have anything else you want to slap in here, I guess now would be the time. Um let's see. Bonbon loves the sidecar. Absolutely. I want to know how many people are here. How do I I'm just gonna jump into the settings real quick while we're waiting for Kyle to be here. Participants' names, show non-video participants. No. Dang. Okay. I don't know how to do it. All right, Kyle, I'm going to hand this to you. Please refrain from slapping it. Hold on to it. Stare at it. There we go. Good work. Good work. All right. Good work. Bonbon says 14. What? Okay. Last cocktail. We're getting into it. Oh. This is Christmas in July. I would be remiss. I only really get to make this drink once a year. And it's usually in Christmas in July. This, in my personal opinion, I don't know what Dawn Beach was up to. I don't know what Dawn Beach was up to. My screen says 13 watching. Oh, great. Oh, it's a glove. Oh, you guys are telling me how many people are watching. Great. Thank you. I have another number up here that's supposed to tell me, but for some reason it's just not. Okay. I don't know what Dawn Beach was up to. I don't know what Dawn Beach was up to when he created this cocktail, but I feel like he created a perfect Christmas cocktail. Just about as good a Christmas cocktail as one can get. It has the stuff. It's got the funk. It has the feeling. It is really, as far as Christmas in July goes, I don't think that you can have a cocktail that tastes better than Dawn Beach's Nui Nui. Lots going on in here. He is mixing his bases. He's splitting the base in here. We're going to be sort of doing a slightly different base, but this is the way that I like to make it. And we also did not make, if this was a running bar and we would have people in here all the time, yes, we would make vanilla simple syrup. We did not do that. Instead, we're using vanilla extract. But if you want to use vanilla simple syrup, it's the exact same way you make all other simple syrups. You just take some simple syrup and as you're heating it up, you throw in whatever you want to. Let that sort of simmer for a minute. Let that steep for a minute. It'll start to pull out all the flavors, and that's the way to go. It's just expensive, and we don't use. I can't think of another drink that we use vanilla simple syrup for other than this one at any regularity. And so we don't make vanilla simple syrup at this bar. But if you want to make vanilla simple syrup at your bar, super simple. Just make it. Okay, we're shaking this one. Why not? ¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué no? There we go. We're going to start off here with some Virgin Island rum. Which Virgin Island? Detroit. Yeah. We're using the Kiss rum for this one. It isn't exactly a Virgin Island rum, but it isn't so far away that it's going to throw anything way off. You just want a rum that smells and tastes like rum, not a rum that smells and tastes like vodka, that has a little bit of age to it. That's helpful. Go ahead and throw in 1.5 ounces of a gold rum. Today, we're going to be using some Detroit Rock rum. We also need some Demerara rum. Now, they make Demerara rum that's just normal Demerara rum. Obviously, they're just making they can do that. I, however, really like this drink with 151. So if you can find a Demerara 151, something like the famous Lemon Heart and Sons 151, I think you're in a good spot. This is a great rum. I'm sure that the False Idol would be great. Speaking of which, I just was at False Idol in San Diego. If anybody's ever been, awesome. False Idol would be good. I think that OFTD would be good. Just find yourself a rum that you like. 1/2 ounce of some Demerara 151. If you want to go crazy, you can float another 1/2 of that on top later on in the drink making process. That'll also be fine. But for me, throw it right in there and we're good. Let's go ahead and put in a lime. We need 1/2 ounce of lime juice. This lime seems extra juicy, so we're just going to cut 1/2 of it. We want to squeeze this by hand right on top. Oh, yeah, that's going to be 1/2 ounce. Oh, you can just feel it. There we go. We're going to need 1/2 ounce of orange juice. Now, I recently discovered these little guys. They are called cuties. Now, that's not true that I just discovered them. I've known them about them for a long time, but they seem really good for bartending oranges because I can cut them and I only have to use a little bit of it. That seems like a really good plan. That way I don't have, sometimes I'll just have oranges like sitting up here for a while thinking maybe I'll use it again. And you know what I never do? Use them again. We're going to go ahead and get in 1/2 ounce of some orange juice. Let's see if these little tangerinis will do anything good. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. So juicy. Almost too juicy. There we go. That's 1/2 of one. Squeeze most of that out. Get the rest of this. See if we can't get a full. Oh, boy. That's going to do it for us right there. Yeah. Excellent. All right. So for a tangerine, for these tangerines right here, using this method, we're looking at about 1/2 ounce per tangerine or per cutie. That's probably pretty good. We don't usually use that much orange juice in our stuff. I like that idea. Let's say what we're doing. 1/2 ounce of some orange juice. Okay. Now, this is where all this stuff kind of Christmassy, right? We're doing Christmas in July. The moment this stuff comes out, boy, oh boy, do we get into some trouble. This right here, St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram, is Christmas in a bottle. It is Christmas in a bottle. It is. It really goes hard on cloves, on allspice. It's called Allspice Dram, so it's got to go pretty close, pretty hard on allspice. But everything Christmassy, that's the stuff. We want to go ahead and put in one bar spoon of some St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram. Nope. Go here. That's about as much St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram as you ever want to put in any drink. I can't think of another drink that would call for more St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram in a single cocktail. That stuff is Flavor Town. Somebody recently told me that I sound like Guy Fieri, and I went home and cried for a little bit. So, but maybe I do have to just embrace it, that I sound like Guy Fieri. Anyway, we're going down to Flavor Town whenever we get that stuff. It's the good stuff. This right here, we always have some cinnamon syrup. How do we know it's cinnamon syrup? There's always cinnamon floating in it. That's how we know. We keep that cinnamon in there, gives us extra cinnamon flavor as it sort of ages. So I know that we have people here that are big fans of what do we call them? Not legacy bottles, Frankenstein bottles, whatever. When you take the leftover stuff, throw it in there. I don't recommend that for simple syrups, but if you throw enough booze in there and you can preserve it, you should be in a good spot by just adding more, whatever's left in here back into the next bottle, as long as you're using it fast enough. If you see any funk on top of it, throw it out. Half an ounce of some of our, what are we calling this stuff again? Cinnamon simple syrup. Half an ounce of cinnamon simple syrup. Perfect. We also Johnny Bannerpager, 6 more days. What happens in 6 more days? Oh God, what have I done? What have I done? Okay. We also need to add some vanilla into this. There are lots of ways to add vanilla to stuff. There is, of course, vanilla simple syrup. We talked about that moments ago. But this is homemade vanilla extract. Very simple. All you got to do is go to a state that has Everclear. Take some Everclear, throw in some vanilla beans. Let those sit for about 8 months. That sounds like a long time. But the moment that you get close to being done or about halfway done, fill it back up with Everclear. And it's an ever fulfilling, ever replenishing version of vanilla extract. You also don't need a lot, just a little. We just want a few dashes of some vanilla extract. Looks like this. See how much I have in there? That's all we need. That's it. That is it. Let me say hello to Kim K. Good to see you, Kim K. Oh, asking if Kyle got permission to attend TUAs. He has permission. Obviously, he has permission. He's got to find somebody to watch the oranges. That's not my call. He is very concerned about the oranges. Don't let him tell you that I have anything to do with that. Kyle, would be great to have Kyle come to Tiki Oasis. Kyle is very concerned about the oranges and wants me to pay for an orange sitter. I don't even know how to look for something like that. So it's up to Kyle whether he wants to be Tiki Oasis. Don't put that on me. This right here is Angostura bitters. Don loved Angostura bitters. He just loved them. One of his favorite things. We're going to be putting in 3 big dashes of Angostura bitters. And we're going to give this a shakerooski. Kyle says that asking another human male, somebody in the hominis, the hominoid genus, to come and babysit trees is a reasonable request. I would have to completely disagree. I think that it is an unreasonable request to have anybody ever come and babysit trees. So, Kyle, if you want to do that work, I say go for it. Kyle, set up the drip system and attend. The drip system, yeah, that's exactly right. Kyle says the drip system won't sing to them. Makes a lot of sense. All right. Go ahead, grab a glass. Now, in this glass is already crushed ice. At my bar, I'm only allowed to have one type of ice per night. So if I want to have a second, I have to come up with a brand new method of doing this. We put crushed ice into this glass earlier, and now we are going to fill up the rest of this. We're going to pour this over fresh crushed ice. Pretty darn good. Set up Alexa to play music. I don't think Alexa knows what songs the trees like. Listen, I think Kyle should come to Tiki Oasis. Personally, I think that's the way to go. Kyle keeps bringing up all these different excuses. Right here is 151. Again, if you want to give this a float, float never hurt nobody. It is, as we say, it's a floater. Right there on top, just a little bit. Just a little spice to make it all nice. This drink falls right into a tiki drink that is also a punch. It has one of sour. It has that juice all the way through it, that orange juice. Oh, and lime juice. Right. We put lime juice in there, right? Yes. It has that lime juice. It has that orange juice. So one of sour. It has two of sweet. That is, of course, going to be some of that orange juice, but also the simple syrup. It has three of strong. That is the the rums we put in there. Four of weak. That is the crushed ice. And then obviously a little spice to make it all nice. The Angostura bitters, the vanilla, the allspice, and just the feelings, just really the feelings as well. We'll go ahead and put in a little bit of orange right here, just to add a little bit of flavor. Why not put out a Christmas in July parasol right there. Let's put it right here. Christmas in July parasol right there. And there we have it. One of, if not the best, let's win an award real quick. One of, if not the best Christmas tiki drink. I think that this is probably the best Christmas tiki drink. It's got everything. It's got oranges. It's got spice. It's got rum. It's got the world. The Nui Nui. Bring it to me. Mahalo. Malakaliki makakaliki malakaliki maki makakaliki maki mala or maka kamiki maki. Merry Christmas in Hawaiian. Cheers. Shut up. When I was like 17, 18 maybe, I went to a comedy show. More than a comedy show. It was like a stage show. These guys, they're called the Kids in the Hall. And anybody big fans of Kids in the Hall? Dave and Bruce and Scott and all those guys in Kids in the Hall. They did a stage show. And I remember leaving that stage show depressed. I was very sad because they had put on the funniest show I've ever seen in my life. And I thought, oh, dang, I will never, ever see anything funnier than that. And it made me sad. I was depressed. This drink kind of gives me the same feeling. One of the most perfect cocktails. Strong, it's warm, holds you deep. One of my favorites. Bonbon says Mele Kaliki Maka. Oh, and Bonbon loved Kids in the Hall. And so did BGB the Bun. Hello, BGB the Bun. BGB the Bun, don't worry. I fixed the times down in the description. So you're good. We are closed on Mondays and Wednesdays, but we are open on Thursday. Yeah, Kids in the Hall was probably one of my favorite shows. My two favorite shows growing up were the Dr. Laura Schlesinger show and Kids in the Hall. Funny part is I liked them for the exact same reason. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Listen, it's been a hard day. It's been a hard week or so, maybe month. Let's round it off. It's been a tough year. I just want to thank you guys so much for showing up for the show, even when things seem like they are not going super well. We have this community, and this community is incredibly important to me. I assume because you guys show up. I don't do anything like you. I don't show up to anything like you guys show up for this show. So I have to assume that this show is also important to you guys. So even when we're all a little distracted. I know I was a little distracted today walking into the show. There was just a lot of news, that it just didn't work out for the good. I think it's important that we continue to meet here. Sometimes it feels like this thing weighs down on me. Sometimes it feels like the show, maybe it's not doing the things I needed to do or whatever. I always remember that this community is really bigger than the show. So thank you guys so much for showing up, even when the times are bad. It's easy to show up to this show when times are good. Even when times are bad, it's important to show up to the show. So one more for very just wonderful souls that we lost. I mean, I can't think of a better person than Richard Simmons. To die at 76 is far too young. To Dr. Ruth, who, despite being tiny and German, was very into sex. Odd. This is, I don't know. She seems like a good person too. Shelley Duvall, you were great in that movie. And if we could all just man, I don't care what any of you guys think politically, but if we could all just find a way to have a drink together, make all of this so much easier. So if this community is doing any of that, man, I hope that I hope it is. I hope that whatever the heck you think, that we're all meeting and having a good time. So that's what I got. We are not going to do a shot tonight. I went a little long tonight, but you guys are the greatest. As always, as we always try, we will be back here on Tuesday. We're going to get back on track. I know I was gone last week, but we're going to be back on track. Back on Tuesday for a thing called Tiki Tuesday that I think we all love. It is our most popular show, so we're going to be back here Tiki Tuesday, and we are still deep in the summer of Punch. We're getting close. We're getting close. My outline for my speech is due this week. So, yes, thank you guys for hanging out. What do we always say? We always say this thing isn't working. So, no, it's not going to work. What do we always say? We always say, that's the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona. And that's all I am, just a regular human bartender. And then sometimes we say, it's a floater. Sometimes we ask who Dr. Jinga Jenga is. But most importantly, we look each other in the eye, knowing that we will see each other again, and we say words like, bye bye. Thank you, guys.
When did you discover that you were so beautiful? I'm having a party, and you're invited.